the region, which Washington seems to be ignoring, and that is that the economic suffocation will not bring a capitulation from Tehran, but it could provoke a new round of escalation in the region. So that's why they are trying their best. They are more active these days in order to avoid and avert any military conflict or tensions in the region. Additionally, this could be the case that Washington, by on the one side, focusing on economic pressure, on the other side is sending regional mediators, being aware that the efficacy of the new pressure campaign is somehow subject to question, and this indicates that they're also doubtful about the result of this, because without any complete obedience of other countries, this policy will fail. And so far, at least, we have been publicly hearing from China, one of those major countries who can somehow impact the process. They have been saying that they will not adopt the unilateral sanctions, and this could be somehow a sign for the United States that the success of their new pressure campaign is under question. And also, on the one side, this can somehow facilitate the chance of diplomacy. So there are many questions that in what direction this process will head. But at least the new pressure will make it much more complicated and prolong the process for any negotiated settlement.
Okay, Abbas Aslani, do stay with us, because I also want to bring into this conversation Richard Wise, a senior fellow at NATO Defense College, joining us live now from Washington, D.C. So Donald Trump not putting a timeline when it comes to going back to these negotiations. But importantly, he says both military and economic pressure on Tehran are effective. Do you believe they are when it comes especially to the military action that the US is taking against Iran?
Well, the U.S. under President Trump and previous administrations has consistently employed three broad tools with regard to the Iranian question: diplomacy, economic pressure, and military action. It's varied over time. President Trump has used all three of these tools more intensely than previous administrations. He has not been able to achieve the negotiated settlement he wants this past year. He increased the military pressure to unprecedented level that produced some results, but not all the results he wanted. So it makes sense now to try the economic coercion tool. It's lower cost to the U.S. than the military tool, but in the past it's proved effective. It may prove effective in the future. Understand why it's going to try it, even though the success is not certain.
So it sounds like it's the multi-pronged.
Hela. Huevano. Huegadi. Sergio Kadi. ¿Me escucha nada? The Barbarian.
Has always had trouble dealing with Iran, so perhaps this kind of varying rhetoric and uncertainty may produce better results than the past.
All right, and Abbas Aslani, back to you. Do Iran Palestinians, or that at least the leadership, believe? Same question here. This sort of flip-flopping and
the unpredictability, uncertainty to the atmosphere of the negotiations, because already there have been great deal of distrust toward the United States in Tehran, and the trust deficit issue has been a significant obstacle in this process. Not just it doesn't mean that Iran needs to trust the US to engage in negotiations, but at least for the process itself, there needs to be a minimum level of trust to build upon and to be able to proceed.
ለምሳሌ ባውን ባለው ልንገራችሁ አንዳንድ ደሃና ባይለጸጋ ብዬ ልንገራችሁ ልመስልላችሁ
ወይ ዓለምዬ ዘመን
ተከታይ አካውንት ሲገባየ በቃ ስፔሻል እንዳያመልጥ